Hi folks, this morning we're going to be returning to Psalm 10 and we're going to be looking particularly at verse 3, and here the psalmist begins to outline for us what the wicked person is like. Dale Ralph Davis makes a general comment in this section in his little commentary on the Psalms. He says that the wicked in Psalm 10 must refer to another Israelite man. He is not from the nations, that is the Gentiles, for here he ambushes folks in the villages. And another commentary I have by a guy called Leupold, who is a Hebrew scholar, he says in his commentary that one of the ways in which to translate verse 3 is as follows: the wicked, in spite of the desire of his soul, joins in singing hallelujahs. And the picture here is of a man who, whilst he goes to worship with God's people and he mouths the words of the singing, the real desire of his soul is to be out and about doing wickedness. He's probably with those who are worshipping because it's something that he's done for years. It's something that has been a habit, and he just keeps doing it. It's a sort of a ritualistic routine that he goes through each time people gather for worship. He's doing it to create the impression that he's just like everybody else, a religious man, when in actual fact he's far from it. In fact, as verse 3 goes on to say, he actually spurns or renounces God in his heart. In fact, deep within his heart, at the very core of his being, he doesn't believe there is a God. The psalm says all his thoughts are, there is no God. This, of course, reminds us of words from Proverbs 23 and verse 7, where Solomon writes, as a man thinks in his heart, so he is. In other words, what a man really believes deep down, that is what will determine the sort of life that man lives. And that's so true of people today. It's also true of many people in churches today. You don't have to go down to the local boozer or to search among the local gangs or to seek out the violent, mouthy teenager to find someone who is wicked. Some can be found in church. People who come to church each Lord's Day because it's what they've always done. They come because it's expected of them. Their family expect them to come. Their friends expect them to come. The local community in which they live expect them to come. But if truth be told, all the while they're there and all the while they're singing praise with their lips, they have no time for God and they've no interest in God. In fact, if you were to really search down into their hearts, you would discover they don't really believe there is a God. And were you to study their lives, were you to listen to them speak, see how they behave outside of church, you would soon see that their unbelief in God is demonstrated in the way they live. This was one of the charges that Jesus brought against the Pharisees of his day. He described them in the very same words that God used to describe sinful, rebellious, apostate Israel in the days of Isaiah. This people draws near to me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. We need to remember that whatever our family and friends and loved ones see, they see our outward behaviour. But God looks beyond our outward behaviour and he examines the heart. I wonder what God sees when he looks into my heart and into your heart. Does God see a heart that not only believes that there is a God, but a heart that believes that the God of the Bible is the one true living God? A heart that trusts this God? A heart that wants to obey God and strives to obey God because you want to honour God? Or does God see the heart that is so much like the wicked of Psalm 10, which says to itself, there is no God? The words of Charles Wesley came to my mind as I was doing this little devotion. He wrote, "Oh, for a heart to praise my God, a heart from sin set free, a heart that's sprinkled with the blood so freely shed for me, a heart resigned, submissive, weak, on my great Redeemer's throne, where only Christ is heard to speak, where Jesus reigns alone. A humble, lowly, contrite heart, believing, true and clean, which neither life nor death can part from him who dwells within." What do we say in our hearts? Do we believe in God? Unlike the wicked of Psalm 10 who says, there is no God. Have a good day. Every blessing.